This is going to be a crazy experiment. I've got this apparatus around my neck here, and it's kind of cumbersome, so let's see if it actually works. That's what I'm going to be drawing. That's my setup here, so I don't know if I can easily turn. This is being held there, so let's see if I can draw while I'm doing this. It's not easy. It's really hot today. So, it's hot and sticky all day. Oops. New car. It's a new setup. Accidentally hit the stop record button. So the new car is because my old one was, how many years old? 13 years old? 14 years old? 13 years old. 12 years old? Old anyways. And showing its age. Although it still worked well. But anyways. Time for that one to go. And this is a Mitsubishi Mirage. Nice little car. You can't actually get small vehicles anymore. Everybody wants a big vehicle. I don't get it. You know, I thought we were supposed to be concerned about greenhouse gases and keeping the planet green and all that. Everybody's driving a monster vehicle. You see these little old ladies driving monster trucks. Vehicles that are like way too big for them, and they're having problems maneuvering them. Sorry, that got a little out of position there. And I guess nobody figures it's profitable, or they figure there's no market for small vehicles anymore. I don't need a big vehicle. Well, you know, I guess I could use a truck for hauling wood and stuff, so. But for the most part, I don't want to be wasting gas. This thing's supposed to be really good on gas. It might be a little hard. I don't have my seat covers in place yet. So I'm going to try not to make a mess on the seats. It might be a little hard actually getting these colors mixed and shown. And although there is software on this phone to prevent shaking after I take the video, there might be a lot of shaking while I'm actually, I mean, I can strap this to my chest, but I don't want to do that because I think that'll impede the kind of movement I can make with the camera. So everything's an exercise in experimentation. Wow. Just a general kind of impression of what's going on in that sky. Nothing accurate. Oops, don't fall down on me. Yeah, having a little difficulty setting up properly here. That's okay. Did I? Jesus, I don't know what I did there. Who knows what I'm getting? Too many changes to the recording equipment here. Yeah, this is not working well. Can't touch the camera hardly at all because I'll accidentally turn it off. And there's the numbers. Sorry for the craziness of all this. Got a different cup that I had to put in the cup holder to make it fit. I like the fact that every mark is important. You can't touch it. You can't touch the surface of the paper without it being important. Okay, let's see what I can do here. See if I actually have access to these materials. Oh God, I don't really, you know. This is crazy. Yeah, it's going to be really hard to do this, even with this gizmo on. Damn near impossible. I think I was having better luck just holding the camera. Holding the phone. The only thing that this gives me an advantage with is centering on the image. That part is good. Well, you know, I could try to do an abbreviated kind of process here where I'm picking a brush now. Let's see what I can do. The problem is I can't really show you what I'm mixing, which is kind of annoying. That's the fun part, isn't it? Yeah. So this one's going to be done, I guess, without showing you what I'm doing here. Well, I suppose I could try to do this, but that's awkward as hell. Yeah, that's really awkward for me to do. So I'm going to try not show you what I'm mixing, but that's going to be deadly dull because it's really quite nice to see what I'm mixing. Okay, time to think of another solution. I mean, I could be doing that all the time, but I'm going to accidentally turn off the phone. too many variables. Yes, too many variables. Okay, I'm going to do something now. I'm going to stop this. And I'm going to resume holding the camera just in my hand again. I'm going to get rid of this contraption around my neck, which is impeding my movement. Lots of problems with this phone today. It's going on and off. But we'll see what we get. Everything is subject to crazy changes. Okay, what are we going to do now? You know what? Let's go to the sky. Try to do something there. Let's see if I can find something that I had. This is the advantage of having these things open, is that I can go to a color that I've mixed before, or an existing color that's here. Simply open it up with a bit of white, a bit of water, and go at it. So, it's not very opaque, not much covering power in that white, which is also going to drip, because I've got too much water on the surface. Let it do that. Let things screw up. And then you're forced to deal with the screw up. And that can be interesting in itself. Okay. I'm really trying not to get paint on the car. I always try to pick a spot that I like more than actually anything else. I was at another spot where I parked, quite a nice scene that I've painted before, but I didn't like the feel of the spot. I didn't like the feel of the parking spot. So it's odd what your considerations are when you're doing these. It's a nice medium, opaque watercolor. Ooh, look at that. I'm going to leave that sky like that for now. Maybe accentuate the white later on. Right now I'd like to go in with some bright green. Lots of brushes to choose from. I'll mix it off of this, but I'll modify it because I don't have enough paint in here. I mean, I don't have enough pigment. Jesus. Spraying color all over the place. Well, I'll take another brush. Try not to mess up that too much. Oh yeah, see, there's not enough pigment in that color. So I'm going to spend some time working on this color here. The colors are opaque when you take enough of them. And I'm going to modify the color, if I can find the right container here, with a little bit of purple. So, I mean, it's kind of the reddish. I don't want to use pure red to tone it down. So I'm going to tone down with purple. See, a relative opposite will have the ability to gray a color as well. So that's important to keep in mind. So I'll just go to that bit of purple there, hit it with that. See how that's dulling there? But it's not dulling too much here because I didn't take too much purple. Because I'm not really finding the right set here. See? Where's my purple? There is my purple. Purple. And you see how that's dulling it? Now, it's better. Fair amount of pigment in that paint. Could still have a little more, but anyways. Now I'm going to go to a duller kind of green for that other area. And let me try again to find something that I already have mixed. This will do. Yeah. Just do a lot with very little. I like hearing the sounds of the cars here. I'm on Highway 28, maybe half an hour north of Port Hope, another half hour north to Peterborough, and this is my stomping grounds. So now I'm looking again for that blue that I used in the sky, because I need to do a couple of touch-ups. I need to wash my brush out, clean it on my old dirty tissues that I suppose I should actually change. There's my blue that I was using. I just want to go in there, take that in there. Every touch counts. Now I'm going to again reassert my strongest darks. This will do. Painting my pants while I'm working on this. No worry, I can wash my pants. You know, this brush though, This brush is too big. Well, maybe not, but maybe it is. So I'm going to switch to something else. I'm not really good at switching this view for you here, showing you everything that I'm doing. But anyways, you're getting some of it. I'm glad this macro feature on this phone does a pretty decent job. How pretty the sky is today. I'm wanting to assert the white in the sky, make it a little stronger. So if I have some of that open, that would be really nice. I hate pressing new white out because if you don't use it all up, your white, here I have some, there I have some white. If you don't use all your China white up when you squeeze it out, crap, I can't squeeze it out with one hand. So anyways, I'm gonna try to make do with what I have here. And I just want to, there's not enough pigment on there. I just want to strengthen, make that white a little more dense, more opaque in a couple of areas. That does it. But I also need to be careful that I'm not leaving these gobs on here, because they will dry on there, and then you've got an unstable painting surface. It's not as opaque as I want. This is the last thing I want to do on this thing, really. I don't want to do a lot. Okay, that was a good stroke. Oop, that's a bad thing to have there. I don't want that on there. Come on, baby. Simplify that mark. You know what else I could be doing? I could be using a smaller brush here, probably. So, I'm going to switch to that. Scale. I want to switch the scale so that always, when you have large, you have small also. And you see those nice white things. I'm getting some sense of that shift in scale, but not much. That did it. That made a difference. And I'll do that one more time or a couple of times. That made a difference. So did that. So did that. So did that. But I don't want to overdo it now, so I think I'm just going to stop doing that. I'm going to go now to, if I can find my pencils, wherever I laid my pencils down. In the other car, I had a place to lay things down here on the ledge so I didn't lose them. So I'm learning a new car here as much as learning the new paint procedure. So what do I want to do? I want to put some small scale information here. Not too much. I like how in something this small, the pencil really shows off as gorgeous small information. So I'm at that stage where I want to be kind of careful. Getting close to the end. I look at that thing that was an accident is what I like the most now in the piece. I like that color next to this. I like the fact that it's just got its own little bit of authority there. I'm not going to do any more. In fact, I'm going to leave it right here. So, calling it done. In this beautiful spot where I feel really safe all the time and nobody's going to hit me from behind. Although somebody came racing by me at about 100 miles an hour just as I was starting. Okay, that's the whole setup. Let's call this done.